drug. Okay. So, having said that, there are complex kinetics. For example, oral bioavailability is variable. In fact, it is not orally bioavailable in horses. So this isn't a drug. We don't treat congestive heart failure in horses, in part because it is so expensive. It's going to take so much drug in these larger breed animals. But the other complex kinetics is here. Most of these are prodrugs. They have to be activated by the liver. And this is just showing you the activation. Now, how clinically relevant is that? Probably not much. Even in serious liver disease, I don't think you're going to see a problem with conversion of this drug to its active form. And most of our patients with cardiac disease don't have liver disease. So it's probably not a real issue, but the one drug that does not require activation is lisinopril. And so some clinicians, if they think there's any liver disease at all, they'll use lisinopril instead of the other two drugs. The other point that I'm going to make is, like amlodipine, there's a delay in onset as the drug interfaces with the receptors. In fact, you're not going to see the maximum effect until all the receptors have been saturated. And so there is a delay in onset of action. And in fact, if you discontinue that drug, you'll see residual effects because of this complex interaction between drugs and receptors. So for you, the biggest thing is just to understand that there's a lag time to efficacy. For amlodipine, it's long half-life and this receptor-drug interaction. But for enalapril, it's primarily just this interaction between drug and receptors. Now, the drug is renally excreted. Does that mean you have to be careful in patients with renal disease? Well, in human medicine, they've demonstrated no. It really doesn't seem to impact negatively, but part of the reason for that is why? What are you doing with all these drugs? Well, even backing up, when you're using this drug, and you will be increasing renal blood flow, so that was a good answer, but what are you doing when you use all of these drugs that we've said over and over again? How are you using these drugs? So I'm looking for something even simpler. You're titrating to the animal's response. You're always monitoring these patients. So if you're worried about renal disease, then you are going to monitor this patient a little bit more aggressively. Is that making sense? You're just looking for evidence that this patient's had an adverse event. Okay. So this is a good place to stop because this is where we're going to talk about the impact of enalapril on the kidney. So let's go ahead and take our 10-minute break. I think we're doing okay. And then we'll come back and we'll finish this up and we'll actually probably get into antiarrhythmics just very briefly. Okay, break time. Yes? Do you not have the antiarrhythmic one? You don't have that?
Has she said anything about the flashcards?
Flashcards?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
She gave flashcards, and I'm guessing since you have no idea.
Oh, no, I don't go with that. I would.
Destroy your enemies. Destroy your enemies.
That's funny.
How you feeling? How you feeling?
Amlodipine. I'm happy to do amlodipine.
You're happy?
There's no Bible.
It would be hard. Yes, she is. She records. She records.
Thank you. So this was like a theatrical setting. Who would Channing be and who would I be?
I'm wondering if this is like
Yeah, we thought.
You could be the director.
I'm the director? And who would Channing be? Huh?
I'm guessing you
Nice.
producer.
She is the producer, the editor and the producer. That's what's up.
Yeah. So she's like,
Yeah. She writes the names on it, so true. Oh, that's perfect.
Now, I don't know that for a fact.
What would you think of that?
I just thought about it because it's just a lot of work.
I would still follow up on that, but that is what I said.
Good though.
Yeah, anything I can do to be of help.
I need to go back.
Maybe cats.
Oh yeah,
For the second week.
girl.
And I'm not going to let myself fall back. Because that's, I'm hurting.
Well, I would only use the amlodipine if I had glaucoma due to hypertension. Okay. On treatment hypertension rather than treating the glaucoma. Does that make sense? So I would double check and just spend some more time on Google Drive, but that's what it looks like. You're talking about treating glaucoma with hypertension and amlodipine. The question is whether amlodipine has some extra effects directly on the eye. And I had looked at that, and that's what I would look at. But I would be careful of using amlodipine to treat glaucoma unless the patient is hypertensive, because you run the risk of
Are these on our model drug list?
sense, because you're going to have that vascular.
Are these on our model drug list?
But having said all that, I probably just want to.
I don't see them though.
That would be
They're
my
not.
reaction to why. And that seems to be supportive.
Because I was just a little confused because in my mind you would use.
I might go also, but I'm not going to.
The float?
What else is there?
And that's what we just
That's
said.
pretty much it.
Okay, okay, I just wanted to be sure.
That's-
I'm sure there are a few house parties, but other than that.
Topically to treat inflammation with humor, being amlodipine, and that was only for glaucoma associated with remember, it's always good to try and treat the underlying cause. And so the idea here would be that the glaucoma is due to
Well, I would like pick people's brains all day long over my wacky thoughts.
So for 30 to sign up. Come on.
See, I made it so. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Okay. Done.
That is not even on our list.
I don't think he did it before it was commercially available, because it's been commercially available.
There's an article in the LA Times about this very interesting, he was very famous, he graduated from very interesting article about his vegetable plant. I know he always told that it was a pharmacological and as far as, the racing being one step ahead of the game, which has unfortunately become the norm nowadays. No vault, so one that has been recently and obviously what you said, figure out why it sounds like they have.
Okay, what can I?
Okay, here's my question. The angiotensin II receptor antagonists, like losartan, I mean, do they use it?
So they're used somewhat, I chose to not include them because they're not used commonly enough. They don't seem to offer any benefit compared to the ACE inhibitors. Now, from my personal perspective, I would contend on the non-refractory and non-responders who actually use the combination. And so I've seen a little bit of both like that, but not a whole bunch.
Well, and I asked for, because I've got really extreme hypertension, that I walk around out of control, because I've never been able to take any inhibitors. They just knock me down, and so I was getting routine scan of cardiac state. And they try Friday when they're coming in. First, I'm not, and so I'm basically, I've been almost already for years, I'm bought a number. And for me, it's just like, I'm always under the impression it's a preload issue, but it sounds like it's really the afterload. Always, like, that's the show, afterload is defined by part has to push it down. Injection. On the right side, it would be pulmonary. That way, after